Going off the deep end. Hey, we are live. Good morning, everyone. Morning, Hullaballoo. RT Bear here, coming to you live from Hack Shack Studios. I am a 40-year comic book veteran. Look at this. Look at this face. Look at this old face. Old, grizzled, battle-torn, battle-worn. I've seen, I've done it all. Not really. I've done a little bit. I've seen a little bit. But anyway, I've worked for Marvel, DC Comics, Image Comics. I've done characters, worked on books, titles such as Spider-Man, Superman, a little stint on Detective Comics. That would be Batman. Who else? What else? Fantastic Four. Yeah, X-Men. How could I forget X-Men? Just a lot, just a bunch of stuff. And so now I am in the indie realm. I am in the independent realm, and I am creating and publishing my own works. And I have you guys to thank for that, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. Actually, my whole career, you guys made me. I would be nothing without you. That's true. Actually, that is true. Hold on. I need to hydrate myself. All right, we got some people in the chat. We got Edwin the Ace. Hey, you guys, Volume 3 is out there. The Ace Volume 3 is live. So Edwin Aciobedo, however you say it. I know how to say this guy's name, Joe Bernardo. Aloha chat, aloha art. I think it should be aloha art, aloha chat. Hey, I like the new Bros artwork that you did. You put the Bros heads on the monkeys, the monkey band, playing some monkey business. We got Brian Norton. What's up? Finally caught one live. Yeah. It's going to be a doozy too. I'm gonna show off a bunch of artwork. I finally got my Photoshop working again, so I get to show some cool artwork to you guys. 1223. I'm here. Love watching art show. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Joe says, Art, you trying to look younger with your hair backwards? My hair is not backwards. How dare you? My hair is on right. My hat is on backwards, though. That's true. I don't know. I mean, you guys like that? Oh, shit. Look at that. This should be the bedhead stream, or this. I don't know. I look like I should be driving a truck right now. This one, it looks like I should be kind of like, I don't know, playing the drums for some rock band. How do I? Everything's reversed. I like it like this better. I meant 1223. Oh, shit. Here I meant, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. All right, you guys. I just want to let you know, be free to chime in the chat. That's how these hullaballoos work. So once again, I am nothing without you. So feel free to chime in on anything I say. Ask me questions. I usually answer everything. I don't think I've ever dodged a question. I don't think I've ever dodged even the tough ones. I answer. But let's get this party crazy. Let's do this. And then I got some stuff to share. I want to see what you guys think of this one thing. I'll get you guys talking. You watch. I'll get you guys going. Anyway, you guys, this is Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. This is my art book. We are at 13,700. So we are only 300 away from 14K, and I will tell you in a bit why 14K is an important number. We have 102 backers, and we only have 40 hours left. 40 hours, you guys. By this time tomorrow, this will be in demand, and I'll explain why that's important in just a bit, because I want to play this video. I like this video and I want to play it.
Art T. Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist Art T. Bear. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T. Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T. Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Man, that video makes me seem legit. Makes me seem cool, actually. Thank you, Shanthan Jetty, for putting that together. You are super, super cool. And yeah, he's got a campaign. Go check that out. What is it? Nosfero. Got to think about it before I say it. Nosfero. So go check that out on Indiegogo. I think he's only a few days into the campaign. It's doing quite well. It's doing quite well. So yeah, this is the book. This is the reason for the season. This is an oversized book. It is 9x12, 60 glossy stock pages. And it's absolutely fantastic. But let's get into this 14K thing. So we have a stretch goal. We have uno stretch goal for this campaign, and it's a big one. It is a big one. We will be adding 4 new pages to this campaign, you guys, if we hit that, or when we hit that 14K. So this is just an example of what the artwork on those 4 pages will be. So if we do not hit this 14K, none of these pieces will be in the book. So that will be sad for all. So one of the cool things about these campaigns and these stretch goals is everybody wins. So if we all pull together, get to that 14K, then everybody will get that 4 new pages. So it's a pretty cool little system that Indiegogo put together here, and it does work. So yeah, that is kind of our focus right now, is to try to get to that stretch goal. And one of the things about the stretch goal as well is if we don't hit it by this time tomorrow, then I'm going to have to move on, because I got to start putting these files together. I got to get this book ready for the printer. So I need to know what the page count's going to be. So we need to hit that 14K. And that's just kind of the bottom line. I don't want to, but it kind of is the reality of it. So I want to get this book, all the files put together, the book put together, the files put together. I should put it in order and out to the printer so we can get the turnaround on this book quick. So we can get this into your hands and all that other good stuff. So it's going to be gorgeous. It will ship. If nothing goes wrong, cross your fingers, out before Christmas time. So you guys should have this before Christmas, which will be absolutely fantastic. And one of the things too, you guys, I wasn't going to put this awesome Kevin Nolan Art T. Bear gem in the book, but I will put this in those 4 pages as well. So there's going to be a lot of artwork that's going to be crammed into those 4 pages. So you will definitely be getting your money's worth. Here's a great quote by Kevin Nolan. He says, I've been jealous of Art's inking for many years. He really makes beautiful lines. If you isolate them and disregard the context, they are still graceful and elegant. But he's not just an inker, he draws beautifully as well. I think that might explain half of the secret to his success. If he puts a shadow under a nose or adds a texture, he is sensitive to the underlying structure, so he doesn't make the mistakes you're likely to see from an inker who is just tracing the pencils. The other half, I have no idea. I tried to make lines as elegant as his, and I fail every time. The great Kevin Nolan. So I'm still kind of amazed that I got that from him. I do appreciate. Thank you, Kevin, for doing that. You didn't have to, but I do really appreciate it. And yeah, and we'll get that piece of artwork that Batman. It's actually a con sketch. So I drew that at I think Smallville Con, and it was kind of slow. And so I just walked over and asked him if he'd ink this up. And I was going to pay him and everything. And so he said, no, he said, it's slow. I'll do it. And this is the fantastic ink job I got. So totally amazing. Totally amazing. So yeah, we got a bunch of interiors examples. We got prints. We got the Juju print. We got the set A. We got the set B. There's the B set. And then we have the head sketched here. And then one of the things I was thinking, I'll just spill the beans. If we can get to that stretch goal quickly enough, and there's still time, I will bring in one of these commissions. So I've had a couple of you ask about the commissions, and I'll bring those back if we can get to that 14K quickly. Because as soon as this thing is done in the live, and before we go into in demand, I want to get everything pretty much taken care of, so I can get that done, get it to the printers, and then stay focused on Black and White Volume 3. So there's all kinds of cool perks here, you guys. Check those out. We are 40 hours away from ending this campaign and going in demand. So I'm not sure how long it will go or stay in demand. So the reason I'm doing that is because some of you have also contacted me and have said that this week you don't get paid. And so it's kind of a wait for paycheck time and things like that. And I understand that. So the in demand will kind of work as a stall tactic, or so we can lengthen this thing and give you guys time to get funds together and all that other good stuff. But please don't overextend yourself. I know things are a little tight right now, and taking care of your family, your family is more important than a little oodles of doodles and other stuff too. But this is how I keep food on the table and keep the lights on as well. So anyway, you guys, that is the reason for the season, which is oodles of doodles and other stuff too. It is fantastic. The book is going to look great, and there should be a quick turnaround time as well. So that is good. Yes, it did take a lot for Sean to make me look good. That is true. Because normally I am hyenas. I am ugly as all get out. Okay, let's see. Everyone back this book of outstanding art by art, so you can get the feel of great art, how the drafting and every line from ink to pencil, or from pencil to ink. See how he brings it to life. Back it now. Thank you so much, Joe. Joe is a kick-ass, as they say, mofo. So while we're on the Joe subject, Art, what did you think of my graphic novel? I liked it. I need to talk to you about crowdfunding, printers, fulfillment. Yeah, I'm here for you, brother. I'm here. Brian says, Art, what? Amalgam Comics. I am so sorry, you guys. Amalgam Comics, did you work on, if any? I did. I worked on 2. I worked on Magneto and the Metal Men. And what was the other one? I thought there was another one, but maybe it was just a Marvel DC crossover. It was Superman and the Fantastic Four that I did finishes over. Uh, oh my gosh, Dan Jurgens. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I can't read and think at the same time. Art, did you see Gary Martin's Wolverine close-up? It's a beautiful piece. He showed it on Graybeards. I have not seen that yet. I'm here, nerds. Nerd. Yeah, well, let me show you this, and we can get the topic going in a different directional. So this is like Gary Bruce posted this, and I think it's the special effects guys getting the actor into his thing makeup on set. It looks pretty hot, like he should be under some kind of canopy or something, but it looks like it's practical. I'm sure it won't all be practical, but from this, it looks promising. The color looks good of the rock, and the main thing that people are really, really digging is that it looks like the comic book version of the thing. So it's got the brow, which is important. So I don't, for some reason, Hollywood didn't want to do stuff like that, but they did here. So this looks like the Jack Kirby thing. It looks like the comic book version. So it looks like they're pulling down the mask or something like that over his face. So this is probably for pull back shots or something. It's probably not all, what do they call that? Articulated and stuff like that. So there's probably several different masks they use. And then they probably do, some digital stuff as well. But this does look promising. I wanted to get your take on this, what you guys think of it. And I'm not crazy about some of the casting that Pedro Pascal. I'm not sure that he's a good choice for Reed Richards. So that's one of the things that I'm really kind of nervous about. But the Sue Storm looks good. And I guess the other two characters, I've never seen those other, to be honest, other than Pedro Pascal, I've never seen any of the other actors in a movie before. So I assume they're good. I'm assuming that they can play the part. I think Pedro is a good actor, but he just might be miscast as Reed Richards. I'm not sure, but also I'm not the only one that has said these things. There's a lot of comic book people that think like, it might be a mistake, might not be that good of an idea to have that guy come in. I think he kind of looks like a fighter type. He doesn't really look like a guy that would be behind a desk or something like that. And that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. But he doesn't look like a scientist type. I don't know if there is a type, but usually they don't look like that, And so, I want to get your feedback, see what you guys think of the new Fantastic Four. I think they'll probably do the story correct. It seems like there's only one storyline you can really do that will be the best for the fans and just for translatability for like a new audience coming in. Is just do like start in 60s. Start at the same time the book launched, same month, the same year, everything, and do a Lost in Space type of a storyline. So have these guys go in, a rocket ship they're going to explore, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, establish their characters, before they become, super powered, and have them go out into space. And then have some kind of accident happen. They get launched into the negative zone, and they're there for several decades, but they don't know it. Maybe time moves differently there. So somehow they make their way back to Earth, and not only do they come here and they're unaged, they haven't aged a day, but that they also have some kind of like information that they've gathered. So either Galactus is coming or something like that they've had a glimpse since they've been out in space all this time and have seen things that nobody else has ever seen. So and somebody in the chat the other day said, make it a science fiction story. Yes, make it less of a superhero story and make it more of a sci-fi story. So so they basically come back into our timeline, present day, and everybody's like, what the hell? These are the same guys that we thought were lost in space, I don't know, 60 years ago, whatever it was. So and they're like, you haven't aged today, what happened? And so then they're changed, they're not the same. They Oh my gosh, my nose is itchy. They have, they're changed, and so they're like, what happened to you, all these things. And so then they explain everything, and I'm thinking, just like in the comics, they're kind of like these heroes. They come back and they survive this thing. They have all this information, and they're like ticker tape parade, all this stuff, and so, but there's this like harbinger. There's like this darkness, because Reed has figured something out, or they have figured something out, and so they need to warn people, the world, that this thing's coming. And so I think that's really the storyline that they should do. I don't know how they could work Dr. Doom into that, but I think that they should bring Doom into the storyline as well. Maybe they could do like where it's a warning, but that's not what the story's about. Like, we don't really get into the Galactus stuff. So it's a warning that this will happen. So then you can tease it, kind of like the Thanos stuff, right? So you tease that this Galactus thing is going to happen, but it won't happen in that story. So then you get into, I don't know, a Mole Man story, or whatever it is. And was the Mole Man the first storyline, or whatever the like the comic book stuff was? Just follow that, as far as timelines, and then you can tell several stories, and then you can build the stories over time. So it's not just like a one and done. It is a one and done, but then it has like a plot line that can continue a through line for like 2 or 3 movies. And so you can keep the Fantastic Four intrigue going. You can build off the mythology that you started from issue or movie 1, and all that other stuff. And I think they can do that. And it almost seems like it writes itself. It seems fairly obvious to do something like that. Whether they do or not, I'm not sure. But the only thing that I've seen that I don't really like is Pedro Pascal. Everything else seems like it's pretty decent. Brian says, I only had a Speed Demon, the Storm, Wonder Woman 1, and Spider Boy. I love everything Ghost Rider. Oh, sweet. Brian says, if Disney at this point, hard to be excited. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a little tough because they haven't really, I mean, if anything, they've showed contempt for not just the comic book community, but also the people that were fans of the movies that they created. So they're kind of also pooping on the stuff that they had set up in the movies. So Joe says the thing looks massive enough, and I think they are using the John Byrne thing and colors, not Jack. I think the Sue is good, but is she hot enough for Sue? Art, what do you think? I don't know. Like Sue Storm, I know that supposedly she was a fashion model or something like that in the original. So, like fashion is one of those things, like, I don't know if it's really real beauty, I mean, some of those runway models aren't, to me, they're not that pretty. Some print ad women are okay, you know. So I think she's pretty enough, but also I think of Sue Storm as kind of like the cute soccer mom or the girl next door. I don't think of her as like ba 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 boom, you know, kind of like leggy, sexy kind of thing. So I think depending on the actress and if she can, you know, if she can become the character, then I believe it will work. But like I said, I haven't seen her in anything, so I don't know. I know nothing about her. So let's see what Andino, the wisecracking Andino, has to say. I'm with Art, not happy. A non-white is playing Reed Richards. That's not what I said. I did not say a non-white. You're putting words in my mouth, Andino, and you're trying to get me in trouble. So, you know, I hope that doesn't work out for you. Schemes and scams, Andino. Schemes and scams. So let's go, man. We got the chat lit up here. It reminds me of the Captain America First Avenger story. Past, then thrust it into the future. I think it could work. I think they should have given it to Oh yeah, Joe Johnson to direct first Cap film, Rocketeer. Yeah, he's really good. He understands this stuff. Mole Man was the first. Yeah, so have him do like the Mole Man story or something, you know. Just start teasing things like, you know, bring Doom into the story, but as a subplot, you know, bring Galactus in as a subplot, but then do the Mole story. Don't overlook these things because these this is the comic mythology, and two, this is what the comic book fans want, and three, Marvel, Disney, it works. It works logically. So kind of follow closely, at least to the beginning of, you know, the Fantastic Four, the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby stuff. You know, follow that reasonably close, and then you can build off of that. You know, but kind of do it that way, and I think it can work. The thing about Captain America, the first Avenger story, The Man Out of Time, is figure out something different to do because they're almost identical. The only difference is there's four and they're kind of freaks. You know what I mean? But three of them, you know, you can't tell. They still look the same. Hold on for a second. Congestion. Yeah, so other than the thing, you know, you really can't tell. And I would do just like they did in the comics, like have him wear a trench coat, a big, you know, a big hat to kind of hide his face, his head down all the time, and just play it up that way. You know, I mean, Ben Grimm is a fairly complex character, so if you play it properly, you know, it'll work. You could set up even the like to take it in a different direction. You could take it Alicia Masters, you know, maybe he and her had this thing before they went out to space in the 60s. So they were an item. Maybe they were going to get married. Maybe something big was going to happen, but he had to go on this mission first. She was a little scared, you know, that he wasn't going to come back, you know, all that kind of stuff. So then he leaves her, but then when he comes back 60 years later, you know, I guess they did that in Captain America too, now that I think about it. Like she's older, or I was thinking, you know, short term that, you know, she has some health problems and so she went blind, but she would just, I mean, the only difference would be that she would be blind. What's the character Maggie or whatever her name is in Captain America? I forget the character's name. Um, but anyways, it would be similar. So you would really have to kind of stretch it so it didn't seem the same, because you can't even really play the celebrity thing, because like Captain America, was a celebrity before he disappeared. So there were news headlines, everybody loved him, all that other stuff. So man, they're really, really similar if you play it that way. So and then they also did like a Captain Marvel, where she was, from a different timeline, and they had her come into ours. So I think the Marvel Disney stuff, they really have to watch it. So if they're going to make these, if they're going to use these ideas, they gotta not just throw them away. They have to make sure that they're for a good reason. I think the Captain Marvel thing, they didn't have to do that. I don't think it made the character more interesting or better. The whole blockbuster thing, and then have her come into the present day and all that. I don't think it really did much. They could have done it without. I mean, the only thing I think is the Monica Rambeau stuff and her kid and all that generational stuff, that you could play up. But even that wasn't, I didn't think that stuff was that interesting, to be honest. So let's see what Brian has to say. Art, your stream about Disney hates America is spot on. I commented on it being in Japan, and they don't own the parks here. Oh, you live in Japan here, but stuff is seeping in. Yeah, I think what is it? There's like the Oriental Land Company that owns the park, so the Asian parks lease the Disney stuff. So they license the I guess like the Pirates of the Caribbean and all that other stuff. I think the reason they built that Disney Sea, is that in Japan. That's a gorgeous park, though. Is it's not really dependent on IP. So if they wanted to stop paying Disney the licensing fees and all that other stuff, that park could probably survive on its own without the Disney IP. But they do have a Disneyland or Magic Kingdom or whatever they call it there. That would be a little tougher for it to exist without the Disney IP. But anyway, I mean, they're firmly Disney is in bed with these guys, and it does seem like they're calling the shots, because Disney doesn't even own the park. I think that Disney for a while didn't even own Paris Disney, and I think they own it now. I think they bought it from Paris or France. Joe Bernard says Vanessa Kirby, Sue was. Oh, she's the one from Mission Impossible. I haven't seen that yet. That actually looked really good. I should watch it. I think it's a 2-part story, isn't it? I think that the Doctor Doom they will be the real Doom, but will be captured by the variant Tony Stark from the Negative Zone. I think that is going to work. I know I've talked to you guys about how they're going to use Doom, and I think between you guys and myself and our ideas that we came up with are the best way to do it. I went on. I've talked to other people, but I was talking to Andy Smith yesterday on his live stream, and he has a different take on Doom. He actually thinks Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Victor Von Doom. He's not going to be Tony Stark that becomes Doom. He's going to be Victor that becomes Doom. I think that would be a mistake. I really do, because the branding that they've done is like Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Like, if you're not going to recast Tony Stark with another actor, then why would you do this? You know what I mean? If you were going to get a younger guy in there and just pretend like, he was always Tony Stark, and then just forget that Robert Downey Jr. ever played the character, if you're not going to do that, then why would you have this guy, this actor that's synonymous with Tony Stark, Iron Man, become Doctor Doom? I think everybody that was a fan of these movies, everybody that hasn't been under a rock for the last 15 years is going to go, what the hell is going on? How could this guy not be Tony Stark, and how could he be Doctor Doom? I think it would be a colossal mistake for Disney Marvel not to do it that way. And then just do like Joe said, have him be a different version of Doom. And then what I would do is I would make him either like he was a really good guy that wanted to do good, but then brought bad into the world, just kind of like Tony Stark, you know, just kind of make him Tony Stark with different window dressing, you know, and maybe have his mess ups bigger, you know, like cosmically bigger. And so he really screws shit up. So then at the end, to finally get rid of all these alternate storylines and all this stuff, is then have the real Doom come in, and maybe with Reed Richards' help or whatever it is, come in and then get rid of all the multiverse stuff and then have it focus on that Doom. So basically the Doom that's going to be Doom moving forward, the real Doom, have him be instrumental in getting rid of the Tony Stark Doom. You know, so then he can seem like the badder ass Doom. You know what I mean? Like he took down not just an alternate version of Doom, but also Tony Stark, the smartest man in the world. You know what I mean? So I think then it elevates this new Doom onto a level that seems worthy of Doom moving forward. You know what I mean? Especially if you make the Tony Stark Doom really, really smart. You know what I mean? Like he just made a mistake or something. And then maybe you have it that Reed Richards warned him or something along the lines. And then this thing happens. You know, I don't know. Like the problem for me is like the multiverse stuff and the alternate versions and all this other stuff. Like I can make things work to on a certain level, but like it might take care of this problem. That's why these things are hard. It might take care of this problem, but it creates other issues down the line. So that's why these multiverse things are they're really tough to make work. So Doom will be played by Rick Moranis. That would be hilarious. Lake Kick says Oriental Land Company is the name of the company that runs Tokyo Disney. Yeah. So Disney doesn't really own the park. They don't own the land. Actually, they don't own anything. I think they just get licensing money. So let's see. Yes, they just leased the name. The park here are fun and not much changes. Disney Sea has IPs, but not many, and is fun as hell. It's beautiful too. It's really quite amazing. I think to do like that Disney Sea and really appreciate all the artistry and the beauty of it, you could spend 3 days there. I mean, it looks pretty amazing. And I think Disney Sea was an idea because when I lived in California, they were going to do a Disney Sea in Long Beach. So Disney bought like where the Spruce Goose and the what was it called, the ship there. They were going to they bought the land and they were going to build an amusement park on the ocean front there. Of course, it didn't happen. But I think Disney Sea is kind of a combination of that park and Epcot Center, the land pavilions. Disney sees a way that the political landscape is going and are trying to get out of the DEI stuff. Pamela, my wife, just told me that they hired a new DEI person to oversee stuff. So I'm not so sure about that stuff. So they are moving back to the way they did things before. I hope you're right. That would be great. Yeah, he did play a scientist. Rick Moranis did. Honey, I Shrunk the Fantastic Four. That could be funny. Carbon Dioxide says Oprah as Doom would be fun. She does bring a lot of hate. I'd watch that or Little Shop of Fantastic Fours. That's good. Oh, that's good. What is this? Fantastic Four Busters. Who you gonna call? Four Busters. Nut Busters. I agree. Robert Downey Jr. is Tony to the MCU. Then the real Doom takes out Robert Downey Jr. Doom. That brings on Secret War. Then the Doom and actors, characters, they want to keep slip into the negative zone to escape and reboot. I think that's the way to go. Oh, Artie Bear, where's the glamour explorer, or what is that? Glomar Explorer is with the spruce goose. I don't remember. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that. Darren Wagner, what's up, brother? Hell, the T-Bear. Bullet, already looking like a cool kid today. I'm just having bedhead day. I got to get my hair cut. Dr. Doom, Strange Brew. You guys are on fire. Hey, Thang, ya hoser. Ya hoser. What was it? Take off, eh? Brian Norton, California Adventure Park was great when it came out. I just made a point to not give Disney any more money. Yeah, same. The very same. Like the current Disney is pretty bankrupt, and I do think they're really trying to get rid of Walt and Roy Disney's legacy. They're just trying to tear it down, you know, and replace it with this kind of socialist, you know, agenda. Definitely Bob Iger is part of that globalist, you know, belief system, you know, and so he's going to do what he's going to do, but you know, I don't have to like it, and I don't have to support it, which I am not going to do. And all these Disney movies moving forward, if they don't look good, I'm not giving them any of my money. I did pay money to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, but I'm gonna wait till, you know, the reviews are in and it looks like something I really want to see. There's still a bunch of the Disney Marvel movies that I haven't seen. Like I didn't see most of the Disney streaming stuff, the Marvel streaming stuff. Just looked horrible. I think I finally got burnt with that. What was it? Falcon and Winter Soldier. What a bunch of propaganda crap, man! That was character assassination. Nothing in that. There wasn't one piece, one idea, one scene that worked for me. None of it worked. Not one bit of it. And that was it. I mean, I watched. Did She-Hulk come after that? Maybe I did watch a couple of the She-Hulks. But I think maybe just the first and second one, because as soon as she said, "You don't know what it's like," and she's talking to Bruce Banner, not only is Bruce Banner a Hulk, but he's also a relative, a loved one of hers, and she's talking to him in this condescending manner. You don't know what it's like to be catcalled and all this stuff. And I'm like thinking, dude, he lost everything. He lost the love of his life, which was Betty Ross. His whole life before that, he lost, Black Widow, which was he was trying to, get something going with, and I mean that character paid way more of a price than she ever did, and also when he becomes the Hulk, he doesn't retain his consciousness or his brain. He goes into some kind of fight or flight. He goes into this animal brain, and so he's got to feel bad for everything that he did. So every time the Hulk comes out, he feels bad, he feels guilty. But the She-Hulk, she's the same brain, like she's just bigger and badder, but she can still think, she's still the same person. He doesn't just transform his body, but his brain transforms too. So, when she's talking like that to him in that She-Hulk, I was like, what the fuck? She's lecturing him? That was just so horrible, so condescending. Her problems are just so much more monumental than his. Ooh, he doesn't know what it's like to be catcalled. My gosh, scared every moment of her life. Ooh, some guy is going to do something. This guy's scared every day, every moment of his life that he's going to do something, that he's going to set this beast free on the world, and that thing could go on a rampage and kill hundreds, thousands of people. Like, come on, man. Those women that wrote that, just stupid. You're stupid. If you're listening, you're stupid. You're condescending. You have an agenda. Like, come on, how could you write something like that? It's so disingenuous and so unfair to both characters. One, it condescends, and then the other one looks like a shit for saying it. Like that's a lose-lose scenario. Don't write characters like that. The character that you're trying to make look good looks bad. Art, when are you hitting up Shane Show Ballers? Is that tonight or is that tomorrow night? I could possibly, you know what? I'll message. That might be a good way to close Oodles of Doodles. Let me know in the chat if it's Thursday or Friday. I think it's Friday though. Del Keown's Cecil cover is sick. Poor Tooch, still waiting for his the Tooch still waiting for his cover. Yeah. Brian says, I love Song of the South and love the characters, which is why I love Splash Mountain. Unfortunately, they changed it, not changed here at least. Yeah, I think is the Japanese version the same? A lot of the attractions are the same as the originals. I think it's in Japan. I always get the China park and the Japanese park mixed up. Yeah, and also the thing about, I think it's in Japan, it's only like 53 or 57 American dollars to get in the park. Like here, it's like 3 times that amount to get into one of these parks. Like it's cost effective. Like you could go there. I noticed there's a lot of like non-Asians at the park, so I guess like the actual stay there, if you're going to stay in one of the hotels and go to the parks there, is relatively inexpensive compared to here. And I guess it depends on where you're flying from. All you have to do is pay the extra in the flight. But, there are people that fly from other countries to come to like Disney World or something like that. So tomorrow night. Okay. Yeah. So Friday night. That's cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks, Bullet. Brian Norton. Yeah, here it's like 80 to get. Oh, 80. Okay. So I just saw like some YouTuber and they were saying it's, Oh, maybe because it changes. Do they have like those, what is that called, pricing where it's variable pricing? I heard that even like stores here are going to start playing with the variable pricing. Like, what kind of bullshit's that? They make it seem like it's for the consumer, like it can be lower, but it's like, no, it'll be higher and you'll be able to change the price at a whim. So I could think like, oh, it's only going to be $80 to get in. By the time I get there, it's 150. Variable pricing is just bullshit. It's so wishy-washy. It's like the price of the thing should be the price of the thing. That's it. You know what I mean? This cup should be $5, whatever it is. That's it. That's all it should cost. There shouldn't be like, well, on one day it's worth $5, and then the next day it's worth 10. And then maybe on one day or half a day, it'll be worth $2. You just have to keep up on things. How do you keep up on like a grocery store? There's like literally tens of thousands of items. Like, how do you keep track of that? It's impossible. I forget what they call it, variant pricing or something like that. I also heard like fast food was thinking of doing that. So like the Disney parks are based on, they say it's based on capacity. Like how many people they have at the park is how much you'll be charged. So I guess if there are more people in the park, they charge you more. If there's less people in the park, they charge you less, which is kind of counter to the way things used to be. So they used to say the reason we can charge you so little is because we move so much product, right? So if we can move product, then we can lower the per price item. Now it seems like the psychology is like, if you want it, we're going to charge you more money. So if something becomes popular, they're like, yes, we can exploit you. We can exploit the demand for this. And so we're going to ream you because you like it, right? So if you like it, get ready because you're going to pay a shit ton for it. And I just think I like the other way better. It's like if they can sell more and it's popular, then the per item price can go down. So this new pricing is kind of different. So like the way Wendy's was going to do it, I think they got such bad press, and it's a bad time to do any of this stuff with the economy being the way it is now. But they were going to say like during peak hours, you pay peak prices. So God forbid, you go there at lunchtime, right? You go to Wendy's, at lunchtime, which is when everybody goes. And instead of paying, I don't know, $3 for a cheeseburger, you're going to pay $10 for a cheeseburger because, I don't know, it's in demand. You want it, so they're going to charge you more. I don't quite understand the psychology, like, because I think what's going to happen is people aren't going to want to go there for lunch. You know what I mean? Like they're just going to go, screw you. I'm not going to pay $10 when, at 10 o'clock it's $2. You know what I mean? Like it's just bullshit. Either they'll go earlier, and then you'll probably have to change your price, your pricing for that time or whatever. It seems like a really asinine idea. So I think it's dumb. I think it's been working for Disney where they have the variations in price, but I do think like what they're trying to do, and I'm not giving them anything because I hate that corporation right now, but I think they're trying to population control. You know what I mean? So if they charge more, in theory, they might get less people, but since they're charging more, they'll also keep the amount the same. You know what I mean? Like their profit level will be the same. Even though they have less people, they're charging more. So I don't quite know how the details of that work, but I don't like any of it. I'm like, just the price of the thing is the price of the thing. That's it. You know what I mean? None of this variation in price. Because I think as a consumer, if everybody started doing this, all these businesses are starting to do this, then everything's variation in price. Like you never know what it's going to cost. So how do you save for it? How do you budget for it? How do you do any of these things? Everything is variable. Everything's up in the air. It's complete bullshit. And in the long run, I don't think it's even going to benefit the companies that are doing it. Yeah, food in the Asian parks. Somebody was saying like, a meal there is like half of what it is here. So if you can afford to fly out there, then your park experience, your American dollar will go a lot further. So Joe says, if they were going to change Splash Mountain, they should have changed it to James Cameron's Avatar. That would be cool, man. That'd be cool, like some kind of Navi River journey kind of thing with this thrill thing at the end. Like you're on the run. Oh, that would be cool. Like you're kind of like peacefully, if they could speed it up, like you're peacefully on this like river journey, right? And then you know how everything wants to kill you on this planet. So then all these things start wanting to kill you. So this one thing kind of makes it personal. This one I don't know, animal, whatever the hell these things are. And then it starts going after you. So it'd be cool is if the boat could start speeding up, right? So it's like you're trying to get away from this thing. And then the only thing that you can do is go down this major drop to get away from it. And then everything's peaceful at the end. You ditch the monster. Let's see, Brian says, just depends on exchange rates. Yeah, different places that you come from. I think it was around 10K or 10,000 yen when I went in March. Yeah, I don't know what the yen is to the dollar. I think it's probably that $80 that you said. So it's 10,000 yen is like $80. I don't know. I don't know what the exchange rate is, but yeah, that's the Marvel Disney stuff. So, you know, Marvel has to get the Fantastic Four right. They have to. It's just like that first Iron Man. It will set up the entire Marvel universe moving forward. And also they need a win. They need a hit. So if this thing is even mildly a hit, but it's controversial and people, it's divisive like everything else they've done lately, it's not going to work, man. You're not going to be able to sell this on controversy. You're not going to win people over by calling them man babies and all this other crap, isphobes, whatever they have chambered. You're not going to win people over doing that. So you're going to have to change your business model, or because it's not just going to be a single movie. It's going to be the Marvel franchise moving forward. So it's going to be your whole future. So you guys played a game, you fucked up, and now you can't play around anymore. You've given yourself no leeway. So now it's all or nothing. So these guys have to know it, and they have to course correct. Otherwise, it's extinction. And the thing is, not just Marvel, but Disney's putting a lot of money into it too, because they're bringing the Marvel stuff into the Disney parks. I don't think none of it's been any good. I think the only thing that's kind of cool is the Guardian stuff, so they did like Cosmic Rewind, and then there's like they reworked the Tower of Terror into some kind of escape, attraction. And I rode the escape one, the drop tower, and it's pretty good. I guess the Disney World version of the Twilight Zone is way better than the California one. I mean, it's more. I mean, there's like ghosts and hallways. There's like a lot of cool effects and stuff. And I think your drop whatever it is, elevator moves into the hallway of the hotel. I mean, it's pretty freaking cool. And then like everything kind of goes black, and then these stars form, and then that window like that's in the opening of the Twilight Zone is there, and then everything just goes black and you drop. It's really cool. They don't have that in California. So switching it over to the Guardians, I didn't mind, so there's two different versions of the same ride, and I think they're both cool. And I think by rebranding the Tower of Terror to Guardians Escape or whatever the hell it is in California was a better move. I think it works, and there's like this audio animatronic of oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on the raccoon. But it's pretty cool. It works. Wait, what is this? Wait a minute. I missed a bunch of stuff. Oh, what is entertaining to you nowadays, Art? That is a really good question. I don't watch TV. I don't watch streaming shows. I don't watch cable. I if I do anything, I get like old movies, old Blu-ray DVDs out, and we'll watch them. But even Pamela and I haven't done that in years. So literally, it's been a year since I've seen really anything new. I think Deadpool, and I think Pamela and I go see like some of the like the Chosen stuff that it goes cinematic first and then does the streaming. So we do those sometimes when they're theatrical, but not much, not much. And I don't buy any comics. I'll buy like Comicsgate stuff, things like that. But I don't buy. I don't go to the comic shop. There's one by my house that just it moved, but it's a new location, and I really should go check it out. But there's nothing that I really want. There's nothing that seems interesting to me. So I don't really I watch YouTube, and I write and draw my own stories. Dan Malin is still going. I don't know what that means. Dan Malin is still going. Yeah, he's still going. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Let's see what Auntie Entity says. Still can't wait till Rogue takes out Larson's Marvel. Give us our Rogue. They're gonna have to cast the perfect woman for that. I mean, she's got to have like real, authentic Southern charm. And now living more south, like South Texas, um, I know what that's like. I mean, there are people that they're not like Texans, but they're like from Louisiana and different, Georgia, different places that like close, that have moved into Texas. And my gosh, the accent and the concern and all that. I mean, it's there is something to it. So that Southern charm does exist. So you're going to have to really uh, get the right person, I think, to play Rogue. And she's going to have to be so sweet and charismatic. Bullet, I have high standards, so today's crap is a no-go for me. But Dune was okay. Dune 2, I'll pass on. Yeah, there has been some of the streaming stuff that has been recommended to me, but like I don't get Netflix. A lot of stuff I'm not subscribed to, so I just don't watch it. So Joe says in California Adventures, the Avengers campus, yeah, it's disgusting. It's like, why did you even do this? It's so, they didn't commit to anything. It's just, it's nothing. It is absolutely nothing. It's like a back alley with like a high tech building. They keep promising a version of Rise of the Resistance type ride. Their Spider-Man ride is the worst, worse than the Universal ride in Florida. Yeah, it's non-existent. Like, people that go there said the only thing that's cool is the interaction with the actors. So they have actors playing the superheroes and they do shows. So that's kind of fun, they say. And then they had this thing, but it's kind of not as cool as the idea. They have stuntronics. So they have like these robots, or this robot that's like Spider-Man, and they launch this thing off. So it's like on a web, and then it releases the web and then does like splits or flips or whatever it is, and then goes behind the building. And I guess there's just some kind of like catch thing for it, and then they kind of move it back around so they can load it back up. But I mean, that's probably 2 or 3 times a day. I haven't even seen any footage of it lately. So there was like one where they it got stuck, and then it kind of, the trajectory went off, and then it went right into the building. Like, I'm like, how safe is this stuff? You know, they're launching this projectile across these buildings. But like I said, the idea is kind of cool. I think if they had a stunt guy actually do it, like if this was Universal, they would just have like a stunt guy do it, you know? And I think it would probably be better if they had a stunt guy doing it, you know, because then you could do, like, they have like this little skit that they do on some of the rooftops. If you were more transparent with it, you could have the special effects guy do his thing on these rooftops, so you get to see the show. And then he runs around and he's trying to get to somebody. He has to help them or has to get away from somebody. So then he goes up to this tower, shoots his web, and then the actual actor does the thing, does his flip, does whatever, and then lands behind the building so you can't see him land. And then the next thing you see him, maybe, you know, they have him on some kind of pulley thing, and then he shimmies up the wall from, like, he falls here and then shimmies back up the wall, and then he's on the tower, and then everybody cheers, right? He got away, or he saves the girl, or whatever the hell, you know, the storyline's going to be. I think an actor would be better. Like I said, the idea of a robot that does these stunts is pretty cool, because I think there's 2 or 3 moves that it makes. And one of them is it flips around and then does like the web thing or something. So it is pretty cool, but from the distance you see it at and everything, like I said, I think it would be better if it was a human, because I think the movements would be better and less stiff. And then, like I said, they could incorporate it into the show better. So I don't really see a reason for the Stuntronic robot, other than they could do it, and the idea is cool. But I think the idea is cooler than the actual execution of it, you know. And then, since we're talking about these Disney robots and stuff, they're talking about doing a Walt Disney, like, audio animatronic. They're just robots now. They're really not audio animatronic. Like, the audio part was that it syncs up with sound, and so the mouths and all that stuff, and the movements and the gestures are kind of sound cued. So they almost like had a record player, and so there was a needle, and so that cued the robot into doing what he was doing, speaking and all that stuff. But now everything's digital. They don't have that anymore, so it's not really the same thing. So these are just really robots. They're not audio animatronics. But they're making one, or have made one, of Walt Disney. And the problem is there's what is the site, TNP videos or TPM videos or something like that. And most of the YouTube channel is just on epic fails, like robotic fails at the Disney parks, right? So some of them actually will like burst like one of the hydraulic tubes, and they'll kind of like bleed. It used to be red, like the hydraulic fluid. Now it's clear, so it'll get wet. It looks like they're sweating, but before it looked like they were bleeding, right? Like that's some scary shit. Like if you're a kid and you see like a gun battle with like, actually it could be cool, like between two pirates, and then you see one of the pirates bleeding out. That could be cool actually, but it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes the heads fall off, and so the head will be off to the side and the mouth will still be moving. It's like off-putting. Sometimes the hands will drop off these things, and there's all kinds of like really disturbing shit that happens. So okay, you have an actual human being. You have Walt Disney as a robot. You're setting yourself up for an epic fail. Like the first time that thing malfunctions, and it will malfunction, that thing's going viral. You are going to get the worst press you have ever seen. This is the stupidest move that Disney, I mean, other than all the other stupid moves that they've made for the last 5 or 6 years, this is really, really dumb, because everybody brings film, and I guarantee you there are going to be people that are going to go to this show, every show, just to watch the epic fail. Like already those what is it called, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, those robots are already malfunctioning, and it's brand new. It's brand new. None of it has been scary, like the heads popping off and stuff like that. But some of them are just blank. They don't move at all, which is still pretty disturbing, where you see like 3 or 4 of them doing their thing, and then one is just like, like as a kid, you're just like, what the, this is creepy shit, But Walt's a real person. This is supposed to be a tribute to that guy. And if this robot goes bad, like I said, which it will, it's going to be on video. It's going to go viral, and Disney is going to get the worst press they've ever gotten. It's a bad idea. And also, to me, I know there's a lot of Disney shills that are like, yay, yay. They're like, but they're not thinking it through. Like, also, it's tacky. It's really tacky to try to bring a human being back to life in the form of a robot. Like, there are science fiction stories written about how bad this is, like trying to bring a loved one back. And what is it, that movie AI, like this is like Disney's dealing with shit that people really aren't ready to see. And the difference is, because like some people would argue with me, they go, oh, well, you know what, they have that Abraham Lincoln thing there, and that thing is fine, and nobody gets weirded out because of that. Okay, yeah, but Abraham Lincoln has been gone for a long, long time. And also, he's more of a historic figure, right? Almost legendary. Like, did he really exist? Did he not exist? Like just stuff like that. And two, there's very few photos of him. There's no recordings of him. Nobody knows what he sounded like. There's written like he sounded this way, but nobody really knows. And there's no video. So nobody knows what his mannerisms were, how he really moved, things like that. There's some written word, but there's no video footage, right? So when you bring somebody like that back to life, it is an experience. You know what I mean? Because nobody on this planet knew that person is alive that can say, I shook his hand, I met Abraham Lincoln, all that stuff. Nobody, right? So it kind of works better. So you can't, that uncanny valley and stuff, you can't really judge it, because there's nothing there to judge to, or very little to judge to. Walt Disney was a very public person. There's video, there's movies, there's photos, there's all kinds of stuff, right? So you're going to do a tribute using a robot. Why not just do a tribute with videotape? Why not just write a very touching tribute to the guy and let him, use his words, use him saying these things, all that stuff. I think it would be better than a Walt Disney robot. And I heard that some of the Disney family members don't want it. There's been a few that have signed off on it. And of course, Disney's going to use those as the testimonial that the Disney family is all in favor of this. But I don't think there's everybody that has signed off on that. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Rocket is the character that's in that that Disney ride, that Guardians drop ride. Thank you, Leg Kick. Thank you, Auntie. I get brain dead sometimes, but yeah, I just think like it's a bad move, man. There is more bad that could come out of that than any good. Like you're gonna get the freak factor, you know what I mean? You're gonna get some of the Disney diehards that are like, oh, they're so moved by this robot, right? And then there's gonna be people that want to watch the freak show, that are gonna go there and just wait for this thing to malfunction or to watch the uncanny valley, the weirdness that is. They're saying it's high tech, it's the best, audio animatronic they've ever made, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you, the more high tech these things are, the more that can go wrong with them. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that to go bye-bye very, very soon, and watch Disney bury that thing quicker than shit. Brian Norton says, I love the Twilight Zone one at California Adventure. Disney Sea Tower Terror with Haunted Idol is fun. Yeah, that looks really cool. I heard that the drop isn't quite as intense though. But I do think the best one is the one in Florida. I haven't been on the one at Disney Sea though, but it's very thematic. And I guess it's Guy Hightower or something. He's part of, they have a group of adventurers and stuff. I think it's called Sea or something like that, right? And so this guy was one of them, something Hightower. And so he brought back some artifact from Africa or someplace or India, and it was cursed. He was warned not to do it. So he brings it back. He's in his hotel, and it curses him in the hotel. So I think it killed him, right? He died in the elevator. There is death in those things. So even the not Universal one, but the one in Florida, because they show like a family, right? They show like even a little girl, and so they allude to that they died in that elevator drop. Yikes. Passmaster says he's been streaming since early this morning. His power is out, and he's used his car to charge his phone. Oh, shit. I agree. I've been talking so long, I forget what you agree to, but thank you. Solo was good. I don't think I've seen it. I thought, as far as the new Disney Star Wars, I thought, what was it called? Force Awakens, the first one with Rey. I thought the story was very unoriginal. I liked the new Stormtrooper design. I liked the new droid. I thought BB-8 was pretty cool. I liked the 3 new principal characters. I liked that they had a Stormtrooper that was on an arc of not so much redemption. It became redemption, but he was a reluctant hero, which I always think works well. I think it should have been that character story, not Rey. I think Rey should have complicated the story, that she had some force powers, but he was really just do a switch and bait. She seems like she's the lead character, but really it becomes his story, and she becomes the one that seems like, oh, she's the chosen one, but it's really him. He's the one. She's actually kind of jaded, because she has this dark side part of her, and and all this other stuff. And so she can be swayed to the dark side and stuff. But he's actually the one, so you have like a stormtrooper that's force sensitive that then becomes the ultimate hero of the story. And if you are truly progressive Disney, Lucasfilm, you would have fucking did that, because we've already had a strong female. There's a character called Princess Leia, and she is a major, major driving force in that original trilogy. So don't give us that shit. She's the first female, whatever. She was just another strong female in Star Wars. And you've had, and I don't like even talking this way, but they force the issue. All right. So you had James Earl Jones do the voice of Vader. No one knew what nationality he was. Then you had, oh my gosh, you had Lando Calrissian, who became a strong character and was a major player in the later stories. But you didn't have a story focused like Luke. Like, I think that actor was, all three of those actors were good enough that you could have put them in those roles, but just kind of do a switch and bait, make it seem like it's Rey's story, but it's really this guy's story. And then have like those powers come out and that she sees them in him. But she also realizes that she's got this darkness that she can't control. So she needs to find a mentor for him. So all of her actions are altruistic. And so she's kind of force connecting with, what's his name, the bad guy, whatever his name was. And so she's kind of being lured to the dark side. So the ace in the hole really isn't her, it's him. And what was his name? There was Poe, and there was Rey, Poe, and Finn. So he was Finn, right? That was, but anyway, I think it would have been a better story, and it would have made way more sense. And not that any of the actors, like that Rey was bad in the first movie, but that first movie was just a setup. But I thought it all worked. I didn't see any real reason to kill Han Solo's character, because I don't think they really paid it off. Like in that movie, it seemed like there was a payoff, because that was the moment when, can't even think of the bad guy's name, but that was the moment that they were setting up that's when he couldn't go back, right? That was the ultimate sin. He couldn't go back to being Han Solo's kid. He couldn't go back to being a good guy. This was that. But then they just kind of didn't really pay it off the way it should have went. I mean, he should have become really a formidable foe, which he wasn't. The first thing he should have done is just tore anybody apart that didn't agree with him. He should have forcibly took over the, whatever they were called, the new bad guys. I don't know any of these names. Shows you how interested I was in it. But I thought it showed potential, Force Awakens. The second one was horrible. The third one was bad, was just disgustingly bad. And then what was the one where Rogue One, I thought was pretty good as a story. It didn't ultimately feel like a Star Wars film to me. At least Force Awakens felt like a Star Wars film. I thought J.J. Abrams had the tone right. I think that Johnson guy screwed that up. And then the third movie just was a cluster F, just trying to fix whatever they broke in the worst ways possible. And so, Rogue One was okay. I thought that there should have been somebody that was saved. I think the girl should have been saved, and maybe the guy, so the couple got to survive, but they did the Alamo thing. Everybody dies, and everybody had their moment. So it worked for the most part, but I didn't think, it it could have been better. There could have been some kind of, not necessarily like it had to be the uber happy ever after, but something a little bit less of a downer. And I never saw that movie, that Solo movie, that robot that was screwy sexual, that it sounded like Lando had like some kind of affair with and stuff. Once I heard that, I was like, I don't know. But maybe I should see it and just see if it's any good. Joe says, did you see that Universal is doing a Dark Universe land in Florida based on the old Universal monsters, Dracula, Wolverine, Frankenstein, Creature of the Black Lagoon, and Disney is answering with Villains Land. Yeah, and that Villains Land isn't going to come out till a couple years later. And I think Disney was supposed to be the innovators. I thought they were supposed to be the leaders, and all they do is follow Universal's lead. Like, the only reason that Star Wars Land works, the only reason Avatar exists is because of the Harry Potter world, and that thing was a huge success. And Disney's just playing catch up. And that's not enough, man. They have to innovate. They have to do better. Universal should be catching up with them. But Universal's getting all those Disney Imagineers, and they're letting those guys go. They're not micromanaging them. They're not telling them agenda this, agenda that. They don't have the DEI guys going in there and handcuffing these creatives, from you have to do this, you have to do that. I mean, look at how horrible and sanitized that New Splash Mountain, that Tiana's, Bayou bullshit. It's like you're just going to neuter it. Like, you had a great villain from that movie, and actually the villain is the best part of that. What was it called? The Princess and Frog, and you didn't even bring that villain into the ride. There's so much you could have done visually with those shadow realm and all those little scary shadow shapes and stuff like that. And if you're going to go full on audio animatronics, like they did in that, I mean, that character is very, very animated. Like, he's larger than life. And then most of the stuff's uplit, so you could do all these special effects, all this stuff. And man, I'll tell you, that was all DEI. They decided they weren't going to get into that. And I think there was even a press release. They called voodoo a religion. So Disney said, we didn't want to get into religion, so we didn't bring the voodoo aspects into it. Listen, bitches, you already got into it. You made a fucking movie. What the hell? Like, none of this makes any sense. The movie's not that old. He's a villain. Oh, well, we don't want to say voodoo's bad. Voodoo's bad. You said it in the movie. You already said it. Like, he paid the price. Good triumphed over it. What the hell? Like, is the world so screwy that these people don't even understand, like, these basic G versus E? And also, are you so ashamed of your own past? Like, this isn't even Song of the South past. This is your past. This isn't before you came into the Disney Corporation. This is while you were there. So come on, man. I'm so sick of this shit. Like, Universal doesn't seem to have those hangups. Like, these are bad guys. These are monsters, so I'm sure the monsters are going to be allowed to be monsters. They're probably going to do something monstrous, but not necessarily good. You know what I mean? They're not going to save you or anything like that. They're going to scare you. They're going to bring a chill up your spine. They're going to do something like that, I can't see Disney doing this Villains Land, because they wouldn't even bring a damn villain into Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They wouldn't even do that, which would have made that ride 1 billion times better. They didn't even do that. So what are you going to do with this Villains Land? Are you going to neuter all these villains to the point where they're all beloved? You're gonna go hug Jafar, like all this weird shit. Like, what are you gonna do, Disney? You're gonna fuck it up because you got this stupid DEI. how can you do Villains Land without real villains? You know, how can you scare kids without really scaring them? How can you bring a fright into something that there's no fear factor to it? It's retarded. It's really retarded. They want it. They're talking about even neutering, you know, the Haunted Mansion. The guy that hangs himself, the ghost host, they're talking about taking that out of it. Listen, there has to be those elements because that's storytelling, right? How do you become a ghost? You fucking die. They show it in the ride, right? In your corruptible mortal state. Like that's what it's all about. It's all about dying and becoming a ghost and living there at the Haunted Mansion, right? And they show like the ghost having a good time. You know, that's the lighter side of it. But there's always room for what is it, 999? There's always room for, you know, 1,000 or one more. You know, like that's their tagline. Like it's storytelling. There has to be some tension. Villains are necessary. They used to understand that. They don't anymore. They want everything to be neutered, everything to be sanitized, everything to be nice. And the thing is, they were already known for nice. They did villains that were villains in the past, and people still brought their kids. It was still G-rated fun. You know what I mean? Somehow they made it work. But you can't. Modern day, bunch of shit. Let me see. RT Bear, have you seen Universal Epic Universe in Orlando? They have one of those lands as How to Train Your Dragon. They made a drone to fly overhead, and it looks like a dragon. I know. I know. I've been keeping up on all of that stuff. I just love creativity. And I love IP creativity. So that's why I really loved past tense, all the Disney stuff. I still keep up with it, but most of the time it's just heartbreaking. But I'm not going to give them any of my money. But Universal, I have to say, Epic Universe, I have a fan of mine that has invited me to go to the preview of Epic Universe. So I don't know this person. They just reached out to me and they said when it opens, we have these preview nights, stuff we can get guests in. And so, you know, I might do it, you know, and just see what the park's like. I was lucky enough to go. I had a friend that got me into that California Adventure before it opened publicly. And that was interesting because it's a smaller crowd and you got to go on everything before anybody else. So you felt kind of privileged, you know, a little bit and stuff. So it would be neat to go to that Epic Universe and see what it's all about. I'll tell you right now, it's kind of taking from the Disney stuff, obviously, you know, because they set the high bar. And is it gonna top the Disney experience? I don't know, but it is definitely gonna steal their thunder for the next couple of years. Like once it opens, well, it's already still in the thunder. So from now till like maybe 2 or 3 years, I think that's all you're going to hear about. And especially because like right now, everybody's like, oh, look at it, you know, the ideas of what it is. But if those rides, especially the Monsters Unchained or Unleashed ride, as they're talking about audio animatronics or robotics, and they're talking about cutting edge stuff, and they showed the werewolf like lunge forward like that already. And if they can pull that off and those robots look cool and all that stuff's convincing, it's going to be badass. And also they call it a kuka arm, which is, you've seen these things in like factories. They're these arms that are articulated and they can like weld and they can lift things and they can move things around. And so what Universal has done, Disney did not do this, is they put this arm on a track so the arm can move, and basically you sit on the top of it. So they have these, I think you go down an elevator or something. So you're getting in like an elevator car. And so that's how it sits. And then it goes down and then it kind of floats through the attraction. So it can go up, down, back, forth, and then it can move slow. It can move quickly. It can go up, like up the track, like so you can climb. It can go down. It can do everything one of those Disney Omni movers can do and more, because it can move you in and out. And that, like, could you imagine, okay, you're riding along and then there's something scary and then it moves you right into it and then moves you away or slows you down. So you're like kind of trapped in this horrific moment. And then just as you can't take anymore, it pulls back and then speeds up and moves away or whatever. So that Monsters Unleashed has the potential to just be super cutting edge and just set the high bar for everything moving forward. But it's going to have to deliver. And for me, if it doesn't deliver, then the park is just going to be a beautiful park. They have a bunch of cool, ideas. But if the rides don't deliver, who cares? They got, I think, two all ages roller coasters. They got the werewolf roller coaster, which is kind of like it moves around, like the cars can move as it's going up and down and around. And I think it moves backwards too. And I think there's like a couple werewolf like robots in there, which hopefully will be cutting edge. You go through a gypsy camp, which is pretty cool, pretty immersive. So I'm sure as you're going through the gypsy camp, they tell you how the curse happened and all that other stuff, and beware, all that stuff. So it'll be cool, thematically. And so then that How to Train Your Dragon, that I'm not a video game person, so that what is it called, Super Nintendo World doesn't really bring anything to me. It looks cool, and I think if you were into video games and those video games, it would be awesome, right? But I kind of like that what is it, the Donkey Kong thing, where they actually have the technology. Once again, Disney, you didn't do this, where the roller coaster, it looks like it's on the track, but it's a false track, and there's like something that supports it on the side, and then the true track is underneath the track itself. So then this mine cart can become airborne. So I'm sure that when it looks like it jumps and then there's a broken part of the track, that it will leap like the video game over the broken spot. And if that thing pulls it off, like you can kind of see the arm and stuff, so you know how it's done. But if when you're on that attraction and you can't see it and it's immersive, that thing will be amazing. A roller coaster that can actually jump the track. Holy shit, that's a game changer right there. I mean, that idea can be used so many different ways. But once again, Disney didn't do it. Universal did it. So this KUKA technology, I think they brought it into one of like a Harry Potter ride. So they've already done it. But this Monsters Unchained or Unleashed looks like it's going to be a million times better. And so just going into that How to Train Your Dragon area, whether the rides are good or not, that I was a fan of the first movie. The second movie sucked. I don't really care for the franchise moving forward. Once they killed the dad, check this out, you guys. This is, people are stupid. They're so horrible. All right, so How to Train Your Dragon 2 came out on Father's Day weekend, right? So my daughter was the right age. We saw the first one. They took me out on Father's Day to see How to Train Your Dragon 2, right? And what did they do in the movie? They brought the mom back who left the kid. Horrible mom. She left the kid because she didn't like the way the dad was treating the dragons, right? So she left. She left her son. So the dragons meant more to her than the son. So she goes off. Spoiler, the dad ends up getting killed. Gets killed by the son's dragon in the story. The dragon that you love from the first movie. It's his kid's pet. This thing has redeemed all dragons. So now dragons are everybody, all these Vikings' friends. And so this thing kills the dad. The mom that didn't stand by the kid, didn't raise the kid, she's alive. You know, she'll get to go on other adventures with her son. But the dad who paid the price, raised his kid. The first story was there was tension between the two. So there's a new generation of Viking that was coming up, and that was his son. And so his son steps up and learns a new way to kind of live with the dragons in a way that the dad couldn't. But the dad was evolved enough that saw the potential and embraced the son and embraced this new way of doing things. It's good storytelling. The second one they destroyed. But anyway, that's why I kind of don't like the franchise, because they did that, and the three of us are watching the movie going, "Oh my God, they killed the dad." So, but the park looks incredible. There's like these dragon little, like they look like birdhouses, and they're all around the park. So there's these dragons. I think they have limited mobility to them, so they probably, like, their heads are sticking out of some of them. Some of the tails are sticking out. And I guess one of the things they do is they feed sheep to these dragons. So they have like these sheep launchers. So there's sheep, like robotic sheep, all around the park. And there's one that's kind of on this launcher and stuff. Like, there's all kinds of really fun stuff. And I think most of the attractions are kind of state fair stuff, that's not really like cutting edge stuff. But there is going to be a cutting edge show. And I've seen these things. They're like these robotic puppets. They're full size, like dragons. And one of them, I guess his name's Hiccup, he rides his dragon over the crowd. So they're bringing that show to that land. So that's incredible. And also, I'm sorry, you guys, I know you're probably bored with this stuff, but they are, for a short period of time, they're going to kick Disney's ass, because they also have like these, like, everything's interactive in the park. So one of the things you can do is you can buy a baby. This is for kids, right? You can buy a baby dragon, and there's dragon eggs all over. So there's like these little baby dragons that are all over the park too. So these dragons that you buy will interact with the dragons in the park. So I guess they have some kind of mobility. Their mouths move, their eyes move, or something like that. So they're going to interact, kind of like they got the Harry Potter wands. So each one of these parks is going to have something interactive about them. So you can buy a souvenir that interacts with the park itself. That's beyond Disney. Disney, in the Star Wars land, you can buy a lightsaber, you can build the lightsaber, but guess what? You can't. You have to keep it in the case. You have to keep it in the bag. You're not even supposed to take it out so you can take pictures. They don't want you carrying it around. What the hell? Like, you bought it? Don't you want to take pictures around it? Don't you want to kind of wave it around, that they're afraid you're going to hit somebody or whatever? But Universal trusts people. You have a wand. You could poke somebody's eye out with it. You could jab somebody with it. You could hurt somebody with it. But you know what? They trust people to do the right thing. So they let you do it. Disney doesn't trust anybody. And I know they get sued all the time and stuff like that. And I know there's that. But how do you have an immersive world if you can't carry a lightsaber around with you? I mean, that's kind of a win-win for everybody as well. So if you see people with like a cool lightsaber walking around, a Star Wars land, I don't know, it's a win-win to me. But yeah, Epic's they're gonna kick some ass. They had to replace the Navi lady audio animatronic robot in the Animal Kingdom ride with a digital video version because it failed. Oh my gosh, that's the only reason you would ride that thing. Yeah, me too. Yeah, it should be cool. Joe says Universal did a better immersive in the parks, a la Harry Potter versus Disney Princess Land. Yeah, yeah, yeah. In walks Ultron. I saw Disney, they're just budget cutting everything, right? So I saw some early plans for the Avengers ride. Now it's just going to be some kind of bullshit simulator. You know, I heard it's going to be like the same as like the Spider-Man ride at Universal. So it's going to be some real props, screens, and like a track. Okay, so all right, been there, done that. They might do it a little bit better, but you know, ultimately, who cares? But the thing is, I saw it looked kind of like an Apple kind of tech, like when you're in the queue, the waiting line, there's like you're in this new Avengers kind of, HQ. And so on this platform, and everything's transparent, like all the walls and the platforms and stuff like that, it looked pretty damn cool. And it looked like it was multi-leveled. So you could get elevation, you could look down, and you could get low and look up and stuff. And so there's an audio animatronic of Nick Fury, and it looked the concept stuff looked really really cool. And I think it was like there was some audio animatronics, some simulator stuff. Like it was probably, it seemed like it's going to be like that Monsters Unchained or Unleashed at Universal. And but they're going to budget cut that thing, and it's not going to be cool at all. And the thing is, like, if you build it, they will come. So if you budget cut it and it's just a piece of crap, you're going to get some press. Some people are going to come, but it's not going to have any sustainability. If you build an Avengers ride that has like some kick-ass stuff going on, people will come and people will praise it. Like, people are already, that Monsters Unchained, it hasn't even opened yet, right? But people want to go to that thing. But if you just budget cut the hell out of this thing, which it looks like they are now, no one's going to care. No one's going to go. No one's going to talk about it. It's going to be here today, gone tomorrow. And then people are not going to care about the Avengers campus or whatever the hell you're calling it. Yeah, like if you had Ultron come in, or fuck, what if you're like floating around the cosmos and you had like, like that Kong at Universal, which by the way was created by Disney Imagineers. Universal used to have this full-size Kong in this attraction. It was badass. What if you did that with Galactus? What if you made this massive Galactus and you're floating around on a ship, and then he comes up, and looks into your ship or whatever it is? That would be cool. It would be cool to do something immersive too, like you're in a spaceship versus like an open canopy thing, like it's enclosed, kind of like the submarine ride or something like that. Where when you get in it, they could go something like life support on, like you could go through all the checks, things. It's like ready for launch. They launch you out to space, and then you're kind of like experiencing on this track as much as you can, like a 0G, where you just feel like you're floating. And then you go on this adventure. You can have an Iron Man, like it's some kind of life support suit floating around, or you could have the Silver Surfer, like an audio animatronic of the surfer, like kind of flying with you while you're in the ship. Oh my gosh, that shit would be cool. They need to talk to me. Joe says, by the way, that was my idea. I had a friend who worked at Disney in the parks. They have mics listening to guests. I used to take my daughter all the time and talked about a land with the princesses. It seems like a natural fit to me. Yeah. It almost came out exactly like I said, even replacing Snow White's Scary Adventure with a mine cart. Yeah, they have a mine cart ride at the Florida one. It's pretty fun. I mean, it's not worth the line. The line is crazy, but they have these roller coasters and the mine carts. You know how you can, they're on a swivel and you, like actual carts, and you can dump the ore out. These things swing. So where you sit in the car, it actually swings. So when you go on a curve, it swings out and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's for kids, but it's actually pretty fun. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I'll watch it. Let's see. What is that? Sosha? I didn't love Sosha. I hate her. Your sun and your moon, and you got better. Can we have more stuff like that from Willow? Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see Willow. I thought the actual movie was okay. I heard the Disney Plus show wasn't that good. Oh, Kylo Ren is the guy. I couldn't remember his name. Art, they should have had Kylo Ren character get redeemed with the Force spirit of Luke, and Anakin help him, and he takes out the Emperor and saves Rey. Maybe I thought they should. What I would have done from the very get-go is I would have made Rey go bad. I would have played against the conventions of the setup, and I would have had her go bad. And then you can't redeem Kylo Ren after he kills Han Solo. You can't redeem him. The only way you can redeem a character like that is maybe in death, but he'd have to make the ultimate sacrifice. You know what I mean? Not to save one character, but to save many, because he has done so much bad, and he killed a major beloved character. So you could never truly redeem Kylo Ren. So I would have maybe. I guess you could still play it that way. So he kind of brings um, Rey over to the dark side before she can do anything that's actually going to change things forever. Like maybe she's got Poe or Finn or whatever, and she's got him, and she's gonna, you know, lop his head off or run him through or something like that. So then Kylo Ren comes in and redeems her, like stops her from doing it, and then fights her. And then all that aggression that she had, that she was unleashing on him, went into Kylo. And then she kills Kylo Ren. I think she did in the movie anyway, but it was all just a cluster F, and it didn't feel like it was building to anything because it really wasn't. Um, so, so yeah, you could do something like that, but bring all three of those characters into the story and make it all their quests. They just kind of busted them up and had them going in different directions. And I know they did in the original trilogy as well, but it felt more coherent. Villains Land will be focused on Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. No bigger villains at Disney. Yeah, they should make robots of those guys. That would be awesome. You're right, Art. They made the best Disney villain ever, Maleficent, a hero in those horrible two. Yeah, it's stupid. You know, people can love a villain. Look at Vader. Like, look at Loki. Look at the Joker. I mean, you don't. They don't have to be good guys necessarily. Yeah, just have good old-fashioned bad guys. Hey, we got Pedro. Morning, everybody. Hug my Jafar. Yeah, I think I did say, yeah. Yeah, hug some of these villains. Hug Jafar. Got some Pedro fans. Hell yeah. Let's see if I can catch up. How to Train Your Dragon Part 2. I like the first How to Train. I missed the second. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. The first one is really, really good. And it's Chris Saunders, right? And his writing partner, that Dean Devlin or whatever his name is. They're the ones who created Lilo and Stitch. So I got to hang out with that guy a couple times. He's a good guy, but I swear, like they must have got full of themselves or something, because they're the same ones that wrote the second movie. And I think sometimes creative people get full of their own bullshit and think that they can do anything. And I don't know why they killed the dad, but they did, and it was a mistake. You know, it's just like, all right, Disney buys Star Wars. You have three iconic, well, you have multiples, but you have three iconic characters. You have Luke, Leia, and you have Han Solo, right? All you could think of doing is killing those characters off. You just bought them. You just bought some of the most iconic characters in literature, and you're going to kill them. What are you, fucking retarded? Who buys something, you know, and then just gets rid of it? Like, tell some stories first. These actors are still alive. Tell some stories. You know, go have them go on adventures. You know, have some good writers, you know, come up with good scenarios for these guys to go. Have a mentor some of these guys for more than, you know, 5 minutes in a movie. You know, like there's all kinds of stuff you could have done. But now you can't, because you closed that door and one of those actors is gone. And you still never had all three of them in a scene together. They were never in the Millennium Falcon. It'll never happen. You're going to have to bring them back digitally. You're going to have to make a robot of them, just like you are, Walt Disney. I believe a lot of Epic Universe innovators were former Imagineers driven out by DEI. Yeah, they are. They are. And you know what? It's always been the case. So like I said, that Kong encounter or whatever it was, the first one, and then the one at Universal was even cooler, because you were on like some kind of like I forget what they call those, like sky buckets or something like that. And it's even scarier because you're like on these cables. So the other one, you're on like a train, like a subway train or something, which is pretty cool. But the other one, you're in like these sky buckets and stuff. And then one, you're like you're supposed to be a tram. No, you're on the tram, but you're supposed to be like a subway. That's it. So it's not quite as immersive, but I think the one at or the one past tense that was at Universal Orlando, I think it was an attraction. So you stood in line, you went through the queue, and then it was like you were going to go to an island or something like that in New York City or something like that. So you were on these sky buckets going to go over there, and then Kong shows up and starts attacking everything. And it's a full-size Kong, and it's pretty cool. Like the one thing that Universal did early on, and I think they'll follow the tradition, is their rides go like an extra step of immersion, which is more fear. Like it's scary. So there's a little bit, they take it a little bit further than Disney does. For right or wrong, it's a difference in the way you want to conduct business. But I think when Universal is on, they are on. The thing is, I just don't think they don't have the consistency that Disney does. Is there room behind Dark Universe to make a possible Creature of the Black Lagoon ride? There is. Also, there is talk about doing it as like a water ride. So that would be cool. You know, what would be awesome is if you could actually, you know, that boat could land on a platform, right? Like a platform comes up from the water, and then that platform's kind of like on a gimbal. And so it could seem like you're being rocked around by the creature, right? So you're on this boat, it gets locked in on this gimbal, and it starts moving you around. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then, you know, somehow, you know, it drops you, and then you get to continue. So if they could lift you out of the water, I think that would be totally badass. Or, you know, like Jaws, where, you know, you could get dragged around by the creature. Like the creature comes in, grabs the boat, and then you start going on like a little bit faster adventure, you know, because you're being dragged around by the creature or something. I think the water rides have a lot of potential. And one of the things that I think that Disney did is with the Pirates is they have this boat. It's not just on this like track, this flume type thing. It can move side to side, and it can do different moves. It can go backwards and forwards and stuff like that. So they could put these things on trackless, and they could do all of this stuff. So your boat can move in directions and things that it won't be as easy to see the track and know where you're going. John's power is back on. Yeah, the dwarves have 7 deadly sins. Make it evil. Is Art wearing his hat backwards? Maybe I am. I don't know. We got Stealth X5 High. Let's see, Universal's Kong ride in Islands of Adventure in Florida, based on Peter Jackson's film, is great and totally immersive. And you get the scale of the dinos at Kong, but it's all screens, right? It's not like a giant like mech or robot or whatever. But you know what? I'm going to do this because you guys always get me going, and we go on all these tangents. But let's share this. This is the reason for the season. This is the art book, Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. We are at 102 backers. We are at 13,700, so we're 300 away from the stretch goal. We got 38 hours left, so time is running out, you guys. So if you want 4, let me find this. If you want 4 new pages added to your book, then we need to get some backers. And if you've already backed, I thank you. But the job is not done. Let's get out. Let's tweet. Let's social media the hell out of this campaign and get some eyes on it and get some new backers in here and try to get that to 14K, because I would love to get these 4 new pages in the book, but I can't because I want the turnaround to be quick. So I can't really wait to get to the 14K. So if we don't get to it by tomorrow around this time, then I'm going to have to move on, and I'll just put the book together and get it to the printers without the 4 new pages, which will be sad, which won't be as cool. But the thing is, we are so darn close to hitting that. I have faith. I believe we're going to do this thing. So we got 38 hours left. We're $300 away from 14K. That's just a couple more backers, actually. So if we can do that, all will be right with the world. Oodles of Doodles will be a success. We'll get that 4 extra pages in. You guys will get a killer book. And like I said, all will be right with the world. So you guys, let me see. Stop that. Go away. Let me put some links in the description. And so you guys don't have to go, well, not in the description. Let me put it in the body of the chat so you guys don't have to. Oh, Past Master already did it. Thank you, my brother from another mother. Ooh, We're getting some thunder, some lightning out. We're gonna get a thunderstorm. So so yeah, you guys, and also I had some stuff prepared. So I'm gonna give you let me see how to do this. Yeah, I figured it out. I can share my Photoshop with you guys now. So I was putting some files together, and hold on, I'm getting a little dry in the throat. So this is what the book's going to be like. So we're going to have some pages. I'm not sure all these pages are going to be laid out exactly like this for the finished book, but I wanted to show you, like sometimes the site, you can't see them. They're kind of small, especially if you're looking at them, you know, with your phone. So I want to bring them into Photoshop and show you the level of quality that you're going to get with this book. So I'm real proud of the way these pieces came out. I think it's a good cross of like all the different styles I draw in, the different approaches to work. So they're not all the same. So you can obviously see this Batgirl is done in a different technique than the Superman. So we're going to have some mainstays like Marvel, DC stuff, but we're also going to have some creator IPs. So we got a bunch of prints. So the prints in the body of the YouTube, not of YouTube, but the Indiegogo site are kind of small. So I thought maybe, you know, it'd be cool that you can see some of the nuances, some of, you know, the details. You know, so this is, you know, when you guys get these prints, you're going to be able to really scrutinize. We are going top of the line printing, and Pamela is looking into some gold trim. So it just kind of looks like kind of mustard color in the print or in the reproduction here. But if all goes as planned, these will be gold lined. So all the prints, the mini prints, will have this gold border around them. So some of them have a lot, like different techniques in them, you know. So there's some watercolor wash, so there's some color in there. So they're not all done the same. So then here's another one of the prints. And so, like I said, oh my gosh, my throat. You know, not all the prints are going to be, you know, black and white ink wash. Some of them are going to be full color, you know. So this is obviously Red Sonja. She just lopped the head off this giant. So she's in the middle of winter without any clothes on. And so also all these prints are going to come signed. So they'll have my my signature, kind of like my logo signature, my brand signature. And then they'll have my hand signature right on the right side here. So yeah, this is all going to be really cool, really good quality. Like I said, they're not all, it's not all done the same. There's a lot of different techniques. A lot of badassery going on. So then we have Nightwing here. So on the site, the Indiegogo site, he's really small. So you can see, you know, more of the detail here. Like you can also see, like all these bats aren't just silhouettes. Like there's faces, there's hatching on them. You know, there's detail. So I think this is a pretty cool Nightwing, and I based it on the design that I helped out with in the day. So this isn't the current Nightwing uniform design. So you get to drink this all in. See some of the details on the bats. Let me close in on them. Got that guy. Got this guy with the red glowing eyes. Pretty cool. The color looks amazing. I think Thomas Mason did a fantastic job. So I wanted to bring this in because these are really small in the campaign, and also to kind of help you see what you're going to get in the book. So if and when we get to that 14K, let's see how it's kind of low res. It's starting to break up now, but you can kind of get an idea. So this will be in the new pages, this illustration of Cable. You can see some of the ink textures, the lines, all the detail in the backgrounds. Little snowstorm. So then we have, if we keep scrolling down, we have Meow. We have some ink wash, Julie Newmar, based on more my comic book style. So this will be featured in the book as well. So there's that. Even though this is low res, it's actually blowing up pretty nicely. And then, of course, we have Garbage Man. So this is Aaron Lopresti's Comicsgate character, and so we'll be able to get this guy in on the in the new pages. So I think this came out really cool, and so you can see the different textures, the ink wash. You know, I did some like watercolor painting or like white paint over a lot of the stuff, so you can see all the textures and technique, and you'll be able to see that in the book because these images are going to be pretty good size. So that will be in the new pages. And then this is Vampirilla and black and white. So with Kyle Ritter on colors. So you guys will get some vampy, some sexiness. So there you go, you guys. So this is going to be a stretch goal. So if we can hit that 14K, like I said, we're only 300 away. Then you'll get this artwork added plus more, because this is just 4 pieces. And we have 4 pages. So there will be more than this as well. Like I said, we'll get that Kevin Nolan jam in there as well. You guys wanted that. And there's a lot of newer pieces that I can put in as well. So here's me messing around with some compositions. So you already saw the Batgirl, but then some of these are commissions. So we got Gambit here. So once again, you can see the different textures. I like doing these because it's still kind of a comic book style, but it's more organic. I get the kind of paint with the brushes, and this is all brushwork too. So usually when I do these type commissions, it's all brushwork. And then we got Logan. So you can see the texture of the watercolor in there with the blood. So he's the old man Logan. And then we can scroll down and we can see all the ink thrown around in this Cable piece. So yeah, you guys, there's going to be a ton of cool stuff in here. I wanted to do this because this image on the platform, the Indiegogo site, is quite small, but you know, it's drawn real well. There's a lot of smaller detail on this. So this is more of like my actual comic book style, like pen and ink. It's a little tighter, little you know, there's not a lot of ink wash, or actually none. There is some ink shenanigans going on in this piece, but no gray tones. So there's some white finger painting going on here for the light effects. But yeah, so this is Voodoo from Wildcats in the day. So you get to see all the textures, all the different little details that go into, making my art. So this is one of the 8.5 by 11 prints as well. So like I said, they will all come signed. And then I wanted to show this one off because it's really, it's not too big on the site, but this is John Malin's Lilith from Graveyard Shift. So I really like the way the cave details came. Like, she was cool. I like drawing her. But I really liked doing the skull and the cave details. So I did appreciate John thinking enough of me to have me do one of his characters. So a lot of fun. And I got to do this, you guys. I'm such an ink knucklehead. But I love all this stuff in the eyes and the nose section. I mean, even in the actual size version, you can't really see it this clear. But I like all the different patterns and stuff that were here. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff, you guys. I like all the rock details. So this is more my current style. You see all the cool rocks. So yeah, this will be in the new, not the stretch goal pages, but some of the new pages. There are new pages in this version. I think there are 4. So this will be on one of the 4. And then, of course, you can get the Juju print, which is also like a smaller image on the site. So you can see it. I mean, this, from my point of view, is actual size. So this is around 11 by 17. And then it will have the 30 years of black and white. So this is the commemorative poster. It'll have Juju's name on it. And then, of course, the signature. And once again, you guys, whoa. Wow, there's a lot of crazy cool ink work here. So colors are cool, but I like black and white ink work. So I like bringing them into Photoshop so you can see the line work. And you guys, this is the colorist. This is Brian, and he's going to be coloring volume 3. So he's working right now on the cover to volume 3. And we're doing a little bit of back and forth right now, trying to get everything working. Because I want the cover. I mean, I want everything to look great, but I want the cover to really look amazing. So this is going to be the new big bad, you guys. So we're going to get into some supernatural. She's a technomancer, so she uses technology, because like the black and white stuff is in like a future tense. It's not an actual future. It's not like 2050 or anything like that. So it's a made up future. But I just realized that there's like my name is somehow over here. I don't know how that happened. I hope it's not on the original. But anyway, so there's a lot of technology, but I also want to bring in supernatural. So in volumes 1 and 2, there's a little bit of supernatural, but it's not really in your face. This will be. So Juju, she uses technology, and she uses voodoo Disney to raise the dead and manipulate the dead in the form of, like, skeletal warriors like this, or zombies, or something like that. So yeah, this is the cool 30th anniversary, the commemorative print of the black and white character Juju. So let me see, what else do I have? Post. Oh, so I have another one of the prints that you can see blown up. So you can see all the ink wash a little bit better. You can see the nuances, all the textures. So it came out pretty cool, Mary Jane. So it's a little traditional, like my traditional comic book stuff, but this is all brushed. So you can see the hair is a little looser. It's a little looser in style. Got the gray tones going. You know, some nice stuff, man. You're gonna get a lot of cool artwork. I'm really, really proud of this book. I'm proud of all the artwork that's featured here. And so this, I hope Pedro's still there. I wanted to give you guys a little teaser of the Black and White Volume 3 campaign. So this is going to be the cover, and we're celebrating 30 years of Black and White. It came out in 1994. And yes, Pedro's back, and he's going to be doing High Octane Adventures, the animated Black and White adventures. He and I blocked out a story, and it's absolutely fantastic. This is an all ages kind of book. You can read this with your little ones. You can be proud of showing it. You can share it, and it's going to be a good time, just like the original. Like my wife says, her favorite black and white stuff is the actual High Octane Adventures. So she loves that book. So yeah, Pedro's back. He's going to be penciling, inking, and coloring the interiors, and he is my co-writer. So basically, he's the main writer. I'm kind of his co-writer, to be honest. So this artwork right here is based on a Pedro Ang layout. So the pose of black is pretty much his, with a couple tweaks on my part, and then he had a different version of white. And so this is my version of white. So I'm kind of trying to accommodate Pedro's style here, which was a lot of fun. I like to draw in more cartoony style. So I think this is pretty successful. So this right here is at the colorist right now. So I gave him instructions to kind of do it more like a cell animated kind of, or cell shaded, I guess, color work. A little bit more sophisticated, and then to go to town on that electric eye that's in the background. So yeah, Pedro, I saw the first 3 pages of the book. Pedro is killing it, you guys. This, I didn't know he was going to do this, but I'm not even going to spoil it. He's going above and beyond. So the great artwork that you saw in High Octane 1, he is going beyond that with the new series. So yeah, so this is going to be High Octane 2, the black and white animated adventure with Pedro Ang pretty much wearing all the hats for this book. And it's going to be 22 pages, so it's going to be, the buy-in is going to be it's going to be less than the main book. And I thought what we did is, it was originally just going to be a floppy, right? But we did so well with the Black and White Volume 2 campaign, I was able to upgrade the paper for the High Octane and the cover. So the cover, even though I think they call it saddle stitch, it's stapled, it's a substantial cover. It's like cardboard stock. So it's a really, really nice looking book. And if we can turn this into an equal success, then we will be upgrading the hell out of all this stuff as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Brian does with the coloring when he comes back with the color stuff. So yeah, you guys, this is stuff you got to look forward to in October. This October will make it's the actual 30th anniversary. So the original series came out in '94, October month. So you got that to look forward to. So yeah, you guys, some cool stuff. I hope you dig it. I hope you're as excited as I am with all this stuff. I voodoo her. Yeah, we got real big bads on this. Very cool. I do her. You're a sick man, Andino Palacio. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys click this link. Thank you, Past Master, for putting it in the chat. Click that link, go over to Oodles of Doodles. And if you like what you see, back it. Yes, just 300. Let's do this. Let's get some extra pages for Auntie Entity and everybody else that has backed it. Oh, thank you, Bloody Drake. I appreciate that's the One on Plus book backed. Oh, and the book is signed and numbered. It's getting dark in here. I think I'm losing my light. Let me see here. Okay, that's a little better. I voodoo her was Juju inspired by Alice Cooper song. No, actually, my wife, we talked about doing something supernatural and stuff, but Juju is almost completely Pamela's. So I wanted to do at the time, because she's in the black and white code name. So the character has been published. She doesn't look anything like the new version. So one of the things about the original '94 black and white is it was contemporary. It was of the time. So the new black and white is future tense. So I thought it'd be more fun. I could deal with robots. I could deal with like high-tech stuff, which I love. I don't like the realistic aspect. I just like the fantasy fun part of it. So we can do robots, we can do blasters, we can do all kinds of, fun stuff, cool design buildings, cars, things like that. And so the new version, she's like a supernatural, but she uses technology to manifest the supernatural aspects. So Pamela came up with her almost whole cloth. So I don't know where she got the name Juju from. We should have her on and have her explain like what she was thinking. Art, anything on Robo Racer? I think I explained it on one of the live streams. I just because it's not my brand, Ethan really wants to keep it. Well, at first it was just, like what was it called? CG Racers. That's how it was originally pitched to me. So when I signed on, it was CG Racers. But I think he did a poll, and a lot of his audience really liked the idea of like master racers. And so it just doesn't fit my brand. So I backed off on it. The cars look great. I'm so jealous. I want my little black and white Hot Wheel car. I want it really, really, really bad. But it's just not my brand. So I'm not going to come down harsh. I'm not going to judge anybody. We're all free to do whatever we want. And if it's his brand and his audience, there is some crossover audience. But if they want master racers, then that's what they should get. It's a free market. So yeah, Robo Racers, CG Racers, it's not going to happen. But wait, I shouldn't jump the gun. But Andy Smith, he's not playing it up how cool it actually is. But he's got these 3D printed Choreograph figures. So he has like a Dungeon and Dragon size role playing, and then he's got a slightly bigger one, and then he's got like a 5-inch one, which is kind of action figure size. So I was talking to him yesterday after our live stream together, and he was like, I was asking him, like, who are you working with? You know, how does, you know, all the particulars, the details on it and everything. And so he was letting me know, and I was kind of like, that could be a good, because what I wanted to do with the cars is a 30th commemorative, you know, for black and white, you know, because it would be the black and white, like Hot Wheel car. That would be a commemorative, a cool commemorative item for the campaign. And so I could justify expense, and hopefully you guys will get kind of caught up in the whole 30th anniversary thing. I mean, 30 years, that's quite a long time for an IP to exist. So it's a good reason to celebrate. So I was thinking, what if I did a black and white like figure set, you know, 5-inch, have a base that maybe like you could buy them separately, but then you could like a yin yang that if you connect the two pieces, it'll make one, you know, the yin yang or something like that. And you know, possibly have Reed Blackett, you know, very heroic with his guns drawn, you know, or, you know, aimed, and then have Whitney kind of crouched. And then the way they can kind of plug together, they're not kind of straight up like together, that maybe they're kind of skewed a little bit, kind of like the old Aurora model kits, you know, like you have like maybe a base that also there's a yin yang, but there's a little bit of like, I don't, robotic circuitry or something around it, you know, so it, you know, maybe a dismantled robot or something, you know, a robot head or something that's there, kind of like what McFarlane did with the Danger Girl toys, where there was a little bit of a diorama with the characters. I'm not sure. It's all going to depend on expense and stuff like that. And I haven't really talked to the guy yet. I emailed him last night, so I'm going to see if I can touch base with him today. And there's still enough time to get a prototype together. And so then we might have 5-inch figures. They're not going to be action figures, so they'll be more like statues, but they're solid. I guess it's a resin type. So these 3D printing is solid, and also they'll come in a blister package. So there'll be like a backing, and then the blister comes out, and then you can, you know, put the logo and everything on it. So they're not going to be, you know, as cool as like a store-bought action figure or anything like that, you know, with all the like printing and all the stuff. And they'll be black and white, so they'll be like gray color, which could be a selling point, you know, with them. But there's things that you can do, like I can offer a painter service, or if you guys, a lot of comic book shops now have role playing in there. So those guys paint those figures and stuff, and there's usually somebody that's really outstanding. So you guys could actually have these figures painted, or some of you guys are hobbyists and you can paint your own figures. So there's that. So there's also multiple like collectability. So you can buy one, paint it. You know, you could buy one, keep it in the package, you know, for collectability. You could have one gray, you could have one, you know, that you paint. And so maybe I can team up with a guy that paints these things and offer his services to you guys just in case, or maybe have some painted and have those, you know, at a higher premium, you know, price, that we could do something like that. So wait, what is this? I'm sorry. And Dina says, I have too much respect for Spider-Man, so I want to do Mary Jane. Man, you are a horny little devil today. Oh, stop. Oh, come on. 94 wasn't that long. It was 30 years ago. Woohoo! Yeah, I hope that's about the Oodles of Doodles campaign. Yeah. Let's see what Comics Legend. We got Comics Legend in the house, so we got a legend here. RT Bear, will there ever be a black and white artist edition version of Black and White? I want to do. I wanted to do it with volume 2 where they have those like 11 by 17 hardbound, but those are really expensive and they're really expensive to ship. So the cost is prohibitive. You know, it's I'm going to look into it. I want to do it, but you know, with everything on my plate right now, I think it's going to have to go on the back burner. We might be able to do a black and white in black and white, but like a just the actual book size. So we did last campaign, we did a black and white in black and white cover, which was quite successful. So we did that as like a 72 hour variant. So we might do something like that, but I just it's really touch and go because I don't know how well these campaigns do. And so sometimes if you get over like, oh, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, and you kind of over plan or over promise, sometimes you can get upside down on these campaigns financially. And I just want to make sure that, you know, I mean, this is how I make my bread and butter. This is how I keep the lights on at the Hack Shack Studios. So I want to make sure that, you know, I can have some profitability. I think Walt Disney said this. I just read an artist put this on. I think it was on their X. They said, I need to sell my artwork so I can make more artwork. You know what I mean? So everything that most artists do isn't like, oh, I'm going to get rich off it. It's more of like, I can make enough money so I can create more art. You know what I mean? Like it's really kind of this strange thing. So if, you know, the better it does, the more I can invest back into the campaign. So the more bells and whistles. So if the campaign is doing good, and then I can get it, you know, I can call the printer, see what the prices are and things like that. Then I can pitch it to you guys, put it out there and see if it's something you want. And if you want, you know, I'll do it for sure. So you guys are kind of my market research as well. Oh man, I love that song. Great. Now I have that Judas Priest song in my head. Electric eye in the sky, everywhere. That's a great album too. Oh, Auntie means Pedro. Yeah, I'll listen to it too. Bad juju equals voodoo. Exactly. Voodoo hex magic, that is. I have an idea. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but Kevin Thompson, who's usually in the chat, he loves this juju character, right? So I have an idea of a full-on, like maybe Reed is kind of tied up. So, but then Juju is kind of like sexy wrapping herself around him, you know, in a sexy way. And then Whitney's kind of like in the background, like kind of like being attacked by these zombies or whatever it is, and she can't get to Reed to help. So there's kind of like this sexy attraction thing versus just like this scary monster thing. So I was thinking of doing something maybe sexy with Juju because she's a scary sexy character. I think that's how Pamela worded it. 5-inch one. What? A 5-inch one and art. You're a sick man. I'm a sick man. Takes one to know one, and Dino. Art, have their base be on each side of the yin yang. Exactly. And you place them together and it completes the yin yang. That's, maybe I didn't say it right, but that's what I was trying to say. Robot parts on the base to help them link together. Yeah. I want to do something like that. Or I want to do the 30th commemorative logo. So I think it looks pretty cool, the one I came up with. So call them the action statues. You always have good ideas. I'm writing this down. Oh, Auntie says she'd paint hers. That's cool. I hope it's an auntie. I hope it's a she. Action Statues. Yeah. Black and white action statues. Only by Hack Shack Studios and Indiegogo. Comics legend, RT Rare, please check with Andy. He did an artist edition of Cordra. Oh, shit. I will. Andy's pretty good on budgets. So if Andy could make it work, then maybe I'll be able to make it work. Never too old for Lego. My brother has been drawing for every day for 40 years. He just got a contract with a Transformer card company, and his custom cards will be random packs in 40 card packs 40 card in total. He did 40 original hand-drawn cards. Holy shit. In total, Duke Comic Art on all platforms. You guys check out Duke Comic Art. Sounds pretty badass. Paulus Arts, welcome to the show. Woo-ha! We just hit 100 subscribers with almost no content. LOL. Let's see. Nice. I just got 67 in 16 days. Let's see what Auntie says. I'm a she. You called it. Oh, cool, man. Getting the ladies representing. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going out with some flair, with some style, with the reason of the season. I'm going to play this video because I'm so proud of it.
Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist, Art T-Bear. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art T-Bear's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually or together as a bundle. Art T-Bear's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. Back it now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, you guys, keep in mind the book is signed and numbered. Highly collectible. The original edition, this will be the second printing, but the original, if you look on eBay, it can go from anywhere to like from 60, high 60s to 110, 120. So there is some market value, collectible value to these books. And you know what? I'm a big collector of art books. If I was an Art T-Bear, I would buy this book because most of my bookshelf is just of art books. Like I have Dave Finch's art book. I have Humberto Ramos. I have Cheeks Galloway. I have a bunch of books. I have art books by Michael Kaluta, of Barry Windsor Smith, of Alex Toth. Like I love those books, not only for inspiration, but I just like to see what different artists do. So I think that this is a good cross of a bunch of different styles, different ways I've drawn over the 40 years. So there's stuff from my early 90s up till a few months ago in this book. So there's a good crossbreed of stuff here, something for everybody. It goes to my comic book work, my illustration work, my early 90s X-Men work, and then some of my creator-owned stuff that I've done for animation, like Hit, and then just work for hire stuff like this Billy Tucci She Work in Progress page. So also, you guys, there is work in progress. So you're going to see some doodles, some behind the scenes stuff in this book. It's just a bunch of cool stuff. And of course, don't forget the print sets. So we got Pitt, we got the Juju print, we got set A, we got set B, and all those prints come with a signed and numbered book. So you guys check it out. Links in the description. I know Past Master's been dropping it in as well. So let me see if I still have the link. Yeah, there you go. So when in doubt, do it yourself. So yeah, click the link, you guys. Go check it out. And if you like what you see, give it a backing. We are a day away. How many hours? Let me see how many hours. We are 37 hours away from this thing closing down. We will be going in demand, but if we don't hit that 30, what is it? Oh my gosh, that 14K stretch goal, then those 4 new pages will not be added, sadly. But I want to get this book to the printer as quickly as possible. Very nice. Thank you. Never too old for Legos. He draws on Whatnot Live, comic book covers and cards. Oh, cool, man. We got Joe Bernardo, everything, or everyone in the chat, hit that like. Please, it helps the algorithm. I appreciate it. Catalyst, Vault, Got Fire and Ice, and 2 through 8 of Death Dealer today in the mail. Light up. Yeah, baby. Smash it. Yeah, hit that like. You guys know. Okay, my brother has art books for sale too. Wow. Your brother Duke is a lucky man. He's got a brother that looks watches his back. All right, you guys. Well, I've done my thing. I've promoted Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. The rest is up to you. So we are just a handful of backers away from making that 14K happen. So we still have we got a backer. Pamela says we got a backer. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let's check this out. Did you hear, you guys? Sometimes she'll just yell out, "We got one. We got one," like Ghostbusters. She's Annie Potts. She's my Annie Potts. All right, 103 backers. 103. Come on, turn over, turn over, turn over. Oh my gosh, you're not turning over. Let me hit that refresh again. Come on, baby. Wow, it's not. The backer number. Wait a minute. Did the backer number turn over? Am I hallucinating? Yeah, we are at 865. So we are a little over 200 away now. So that is, what's that? 135 away? Oh, shit. 135 away. Holy crap, you guys. We could do this. One backer made a huge difference here. Yeah, my math sucks. So yeah, Pamela said 135. So that could be one backer if you get one of the print tiers, or I don't know, three backers, 3 backers of the book tier. Holy shit! Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys are probably most likely going to get those 4 pages. So very, very cool. That is awesome. So yeah, there's room for more. So click this link, you guys. Auntie says 2 backers away. Do more live streams and you'll get it. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Mandy and see if I can get on Ballers. I think you guys said that's tomorrow night. So I think I can get a couple backers on Ballers. I was thinking of reaching out to Sean because he's got a live campaign going too. So sometimes our audiences are different. So maybe if I go on his channel, I can get a backer or 2. So sweet. So the backer was Dr. Feelgood. I hope I can say that out loud. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Feelgood. Like the Motley Crue song. Let's see. Comics Legend says, would you consider adding 5 more original head sketch tier? Are you thinking of a head sketch? What if do you have an idea for 5? Are you going to back 5 or are you going to back 1? Legend, Comics Legend. If you're not pulling my chain, tell me in the chat and I'll go down right now, because I did say I would add, you know, a commission to it if we can hit that 14K. So to keep my word, if you give me your word, I'll go down and Pam and I can put a head sketch tier together for you and make that happen. So let me know. If not, if we get that 14K funded before, I'll do it regardless. But actually, I was thinking of putting up an 11 by 17 tier, you know, full figure with limited background kind of thing. But anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Feelgood. If you're in the chat, I thank you. We are just a few backers away from making that stretch goal happen, 4 new pages. And if that happens, you guys, I can go right into putting the book together. So the quicker we could do that, I could actually start assembling the book even faster than waiting till the end of tomorrow or whatever. So if we could do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. So I know I put Comics Legend on the spot, but let's say I just noticed that the 5 head sketch tier was sold out. I was just thinking you could add it for others to buy. Not sure I can afford it. Hey, no problem. No problem. I'm just kind of thinking how we could get there quicker. But like I said, I will add a sketch tier if we hit that 14K. So that could be like a 2-prong thing, because you guys do ask me quite a bit to draw for you, but I just, all my time goes into putting the books together. So here's just going to be my party shot. Let's see how much of this shows up with this camera with all this light. Not a whole lot. So let's see. What if I turn it this way? But you can kind of see this is white, this is black over here. White's coming in with their staff, and there's a giant mech in the background. And then there's a villain that they've done, this guy with the giant head in the foreground. It's not great. This camera is really sensitive to light. So if the light bounces, like white bounces back at it, it doesn't do well. But I'll be posting stuff soon, you know, once we get, you know, closer. We are so close to Black and White 3, which is, you know, October. And, but, you know, I'll be posting more like the covers, the color work, more of the interior pages, stuff like that. So you guys will get some teaser stuff, and the book's coming along. It's looking great. We got about a third of the book done with layouts and the writing part. We got about half of that in inks. So it's coming along, but as soon as I am able to focus solely on the book, so I'm hoping there's going to be like a month and a half that I can just work on the artwork for Black and White, and then we'll have the Black and White sign-up page up, which we'll do that very, very soon. Then I'll just kind of be promoting the pre-launch, the early sign-up page, and then I'll just be drawing my ass off and get that Oodles book out to the printer, which should take, I think I could do it in a day, you know, put the files together and everything. So it's not gonna be too much time. So anyway, in the meantime, before Black and White comes out, click this link, go over, back yourself a copy of Oodles, of Doodles, and other stuff too. That is my art book, and you won't regret it. So you guys take care. I'll talk to you soon.